Happy lunch hour, gang, for a Friday. Kind of ironic. I put this shirt on this morning, and now I'm going to make this video. The shirt says, "White, straight, conservative Christian. How else may I offend you today?" Okay. And then I'm going to do this video. Go figure. A lot of you guys are probably familiar with the Epic City in Texas. Okay, this is kind of out on the outskirts of Dallas. The EPIC, EPIC, stands for East Plano Islamic Center, right? And this is about 400 acres of a Muslim-only community. We've known about this for months now. And there's been all sorts of uproar about it, right? Oh, you can't do that, Totally agree, all right? I mean, you can't discriminate against somebody saying you have to be Muslim to live there. It's kind of the law in the United States, right? You can go back to whatever you want. You can talk about the Civil Rights Act. You can talk about housing discrimination, religious discrimination, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I don't want to see something like that. But then you get a story along the lines of this, and this is in Arkansas, the Ozarks, right? You have, and I'll link this below so you can go read this. This is a whites-only community. No, sorry. And this is the group called Return to the Land. All right, that they want to create a community, and they've got a large plot of land, if you will, about 150 acres at this point, where you must be a person of European descent and a Christian in order to live there. They also want to expand this to Appalachia. No. Sorry. I live here. That ain't happening. This needs to be put to a stop. Y'all know me, okay? I've said many times I'm all in favor of balkanization of the United States. Not by race, not by religion, but by political persuasion. There are many places in this country that are uber liberal and they want to live a socialist society. Good. Go do it. Call me in 6 months when it fails. I don't know. Go on the video I did yesterday about the socialist grocery store in Kansas City. Talk about the soon-to-be failed city of New York City. Gee, why do you think people are leaving New York and New Jersey and California and Illinois and Massachusetts in droves? High taxes, no benefits, the non-working public gets the same compensation as the working public. Socialism, which doesn't work. Never has, never will, ain't doing it better, the end. We don't need to go back to Jim Crow. I'm not old enough to remember the days of a whites-only lunch counter. I've seen the pictures. I'm not old enough to remember Rosa Parks refusing to sit in the back of the bus. I'm not old enough to remember the Tuskegee Airmen, in World War II, a blacks-only fighter wing. I grew up in a non-segregated America where blacks and whites and Hispanics and Muslims and Indians and Asians were all Americans. provided, of course, you were here legally. That was it. Your first loyalty was to the red, white, and blue. That's it, okay? But now, and I understand this, we're seeing the pushback. Well, if the Muslims can have their own community, Epic City, why can't we have our own? Oh, well, this is the push. The whites-only community, that's racist. Oh, but the Muslim-only community is not, right? Got it. Okay. Rules for thee and not for me. Two sets of laws. How many times have I talked about that? Both of these communities need to be squashed. You could say at a federal level, but I'm still going to be the believer of states' rights. Arkansas needs to say, no effing way. Texas needs to say, no effing way. I'm sorry. People get to decide where they want to live. I can travel anywhere in the country. God knows I have. Okay. I can live anywhere in the country. God knows I have, that I want. If I want to live in the inner city, the south side of Chicago, the east side of St. Louis, I can. If I want to live out in corn country in Nebraska somewhere, I can. If I'm a white guy, if I'm a black guy, if I'm Asian, Indian, Hispanic, Muslim, whatever, I can go wherever I want. No, you are not allowed to, in the United States of America, to create a community that is anything only. Not white only, not black only, not Hispanic, not Indian, not Mexican, not gay, not straight, not nothing. Okay? Anybody who wants to live somewhere can, provided they can, of course, afford whatever the living conditions are. Whether it's an apartment, whether it's a house, whether it's a commune, whatever it would be. If I want to go there, the law states I can. There's probably going to be people that disagree with me here. Well, we need to do that. No, we don't. We don't need racism in this country. We need to stick to the laws that this country was founded upon, i.e., the Constitution, right? And all the amendments that have been made to the Constitution ever since. Sure, people will have a tendency to congregate, to live with people of similar values. No question, okay? I'm old enough to remember growing up in Chicago, the Polish community, the Czech community, the Greek community, etc., etc., etc. People moved there because they were immigrants, legal immigrants, okay? They had similar beliefs. They ate the same food. They spoke the language. There's still communities like that. I mean, there's parts of New York, okay, if you will, that are very Jewish, or very Russian, or whatever. And you walk down the street, and people may speak English, they may speak Hebrew, they may speak Russian, whatever. That's fine, okay? You go into the inner cities, they may speak ghetto. That's fine. They're allowed to. Okay. But to tell somebody they can't live there because they're not a Muslim, no, that doesn't fly. To tell people that they can't live there because they're not a white Christian with European ancestry, no. That needs to be stopped. Can't force anybody to live somewhere. Can't say, well, you know what? You're one of whites only community. I'm black. I'm moving in. Maybe they don't want to. But that's freedom of choice. That's something that's instilled in the bedrock of what this country was founded upon. This group, RTTL, kiss my ass. I have as much respect for you as I do for the people that are trying to create Epic City in Texas. You're not Americans. You're absolute racists. Pinball out.